Welcome to Sara Yoga. I'm Kat and this is yoga for the relief of sciatica. So if you are having sciatica type pain, which would be tingling and pain down the backs of your legs, maybe around the hip, very low back area, then you may be experiencing this because of irritation of your sciatic nerves, which run out of the lower part of the pelvis through some muscles and down the backs of your legs. If these muscles that are located around the buttock and outer hip area are very tight, then they can irritate that nerve and cause this pain. However, if you're in pain in this kind of way in your lower back, hips, legs, do see a doctor because symptoms of sciatica can also be caused by disc-related issues. So it's really important to see a doctor, get to the cause of the pain, and if it is indeed irritation of the sciatic nerve due to tight muscles, then this class will help. Enjoy the class.
Begin in a comfortable cross-legged position. You might like to sit on a yoga block, thick book or cushion because this lift of the pelvis helps to make your hips more comfortable and find more length in your lower back. Feel length in your entire spine and feel that the muscles of your back are working to lengthen your spine even more. Have a sense that your shoulders are relaxed and relax into your face and jaw, lips, teeth and tongue. Be aware of the sensation of your breath and take in some wonderful deep breaths. Allow your breath to follow its easiest path. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And again noticing that your lips are relaxed and your jaw is relaxed, but feeling as though you have very soft and gentle engagement at the corners of your mouth, as if your cheek muscles could lift the corners of your mouth into a little smile. This is a face yoga technique which can help to lift your mood and increase happiness. If you have been living with sciatica, then this technique could well be a very welcome antidote to the emotional effect of living with chronic pain. So this could be a technique you could employ on a regular basis. So as well as the yoga stretches, this face yoga technique is wonderful, just gentle engagement of the corners of the mouth while keeping the jaw and the lips relaxed, your eyes relaxed too. And you're breathing wonderfully deep and acknowledging those deep breaths in, those deep breaths out, and the sensations that you feel as you breathe. Continue to observe your breath, and as you inhale, shrug your shoulders up to your ears. Exhale, release them down your back. Inhale, shrug the shoulders up, and exhale, release the shoulder blades down. Lots of space between ears and shoulders. One more time, inhale, shrug the shoulders up, notice how this feels. And sigh your shoulder blades down your back, nice big exhale. Keep breathing naturally as you keep your shoulder blades away from your ears, as if you could put them into your back pockets and keep them there. Shoulder shrugs are another wonderful technique for relieving emotional tension from your body and your mind and improving your mood, reducing sensations of pain and discomfort as well. So then on your next inhalation, reaching your arms up to shoulder height, exhale, circling your wrists down and inhaling, circling them up. Move with your breath, circle about 3 times in each direction and keep your shoulders drawing down your back and away from your ears. Bring palms to touch in front of your heart. Inhale, reaching your arms up, lengthen your spine, and exhale, twisting to the left, looking out over your back shoulder. Take a round of breath here. Your back hand can be down behind you, your front hand to the opposite knee. On your next inhalation, rotate back to center, reach your arms up, and then exhale, twisting to the right, back hand down behind you, front hand to opposite knee, or wherever it naturally lands. Take a nice round of breath, and on your next inhalation, come back to center, then exhale, hands in front of your heart. Change the cross of your legs. Bring palms to touch in front of your heart, and inhale, reaching your arms up as you lengthen your spine. Shoulders are away from the ears. Exhale, twist to the left, look up over your back shoulder. Hands rest naturally wherever they do. Maybe back hand behind you, front hand to opposite knee. On your next inhalation, return to center with arms raised, and then exhale, twisting to the right. A lovely round of breath here. Long inhalation, long exhalation. And inhale back to center. Exhale, hands down, back to your knees. Shrug and circle your shoulders a few times in each direction. And then making your way over to your hands and knees with hands directly under shoulders, knees directly under hips. Spread out all of your fingers and gently push the floor away to stop yourself sagging in between the shoulder blades. Feel your tummy gently drawing in towards your spine so that you're not sagging through your middle. Shoulders slide down your back and away from your ears. This is your flat cat position. Take a lovely long inhalation here. And on your exhalation, round your spine into round cat. Release your neck, let your head hang down. Keep gently pushing the floor away. Inhale back to flat cat, shoulders away from the ears. And exhale, tuck your tailbone under, round your spine up towards the ceiling. Release your neck, let your head hang down into round cat. Continue with your breath, inhaling into flat cat and exhaling, tucking your tailbone, rounding into round cat. When you come into your flat cat position, make sure you keep your shoulders drawing down your back as if you could put them into your back pockets, and keep a very soft and gentle elbow bend so that you're not locking the elbows straight. In your round cat, really go for it. Round your whole spine towards the ceiling. Tuck your tail under. This will be a wonderful stretch for your lower back. And make sure that you really relax your neck when you're in your round cat too. Make this the last round and come back into your flat cat position. Extending your right leg out behind you with toes curled into the mat. And this is best on a proper tacky yoga mat with bare feet so that the toes stick to the mat with a little bit of friction and you can really push your heel away, finding a stretch in the calf muscle in the back of the right leg. Keep your hips level. What tends to happen is that the right hip pops up a little bit. So engage from inner hip bone to inner hip bone and have a little peep underneath your tummy to check that your hips are level. And then bringing your head back so that your neck is parallel to the floor. Shoulders are away from your ears. You might find that your shoulders sink back behind your hands as you really push into your back heel. That's okay. And then bringing your right knee under your hip again, back to your flat cat position, gently drawing your tummy in towards the spine, and swap over legs. So left heel pushes away now. Keep drawing your tummy in so you're not sagging through your middle or your lower back, and gently pushing the floor away so you're not dipping in between your shoulders. Really relax your jaw, push out through your heel. This will give you a wonderful stretch down the back of your leg. And this stretch is really wonderful for relieving the discomfort caused by sciatica. So again, just make sure that you are really relaxing into your face and jaw because we don't want tension in those muscles. As you breathe, keep imagining sending energy or sending your breath out through your heel. So you're breathing in and then out through your heel. So then making this the last breath here and coming back to your hands and knees position with shoulders directly over the hands. Take a nice long inhalation, and as you exhale, walk your hands over to one side just as far as you're comfortable to go. Inhale, bring your hands back to center and continue to think of having a very long spine here. Exhale, walking your hands over to the other side as far as you're comfortable to go. And inhale, walking your hands back to center, keeping your spine long. Continue with your breath. As you exhale and walk your hands over to the side, maybe you will feel a little bit of a stretch in the outer hip. So when you're walking your hands over to the left, you'll feel a stretch in the right outer hip. And as you inhale back to center, again, just make sure that your spine feels really, really long. So you don't let your hands bunch close to your knees. Keep that length and really clarify that length every time you come back to center. Moving with your breath. Face and jaw are relaxed. Ground down through the tops of your feet. This is a wonderful practice to stretch the outer hip muscles, which can cause irritation of the sciatic nerve if they are tight. So take your time with this practice, this movement and time with the breath. Feel free to pause the video and carry on with this for as long as you wish. You can also walk your hands over to the side, coming into the side bend, and stay in this position as you take a few wonderful rounds of breath. So feel free to come back to center, lengthen your spine, and exhale as you walk your hands over to one side and stay here breathing. Making sure shoulders stay away from the ears and face and jaw are relaxed. Breathing into that outer hip that you feel stretching. And then whenever you're ready, inhaling, coming back to center, long spine, long back muscles, and exhaling, walking your hands over to the other side and staying there as you breathe into the muscles that you feel stretching. Shoulders away from the ears, face and jaw feel wonderfully relaxed, back of the neck parallel to the floor. And whenever you're ready, inhaling back to center, lengthening your spine, and exhale, rounding into round cat. Push the floor away, relax your neck, let your head hang down. Inhale back into your flat cat position. Widen your knees, bring your big toes together and sink your bottom down towards your heels with your arms extending out in front of you. Relax your forehead to the mat. You may feel a wonderful stretch all around the sacroiliac area where the spine meets the pelvis. So breathe into this stretch. Breathe into your lower back and hip muscles. Relax them. And you can stay here for as long as you like. And again, you may like to pause the video and release and relax here in this wide-legged child pose. Relaxed face and jaw, relaxing your bottom towards your heels, breathing into your lower back. And when you're ready, on your inhalation, slowly rise up to hands and knees. Imagine a point on the mat in between your knees and circle your hips around this point. If your wrists feel tender as you circle, you might like to make gentle fists with your hands. And as you circle, see if you can make the circles big enough that when you move your hips to the side, you feel a stretch in the outer hip area. This will help to stretch the muscles that could be impinging on the sciatic nerve, releasing the nerve, making those muscles more supple and flexible. Keep your face and jaw relaxed, relaxing lips, teeth and tongue. And really allow these movements to flow. Let the movements be quite intuitive. It's okay to have a little bit of a round through the spine, maybe hang your head a little bit. Just really let these be very flowing, delicious movements. And changing directions when you're ready, circling the other way. Feeling all those wonderful, delicious stretches around your back and hips. Feel as though you're very gently pushing the floor away from you so that you're not collapsing through your mid-back at all. Moving with a natural pattern of breath, just allow your breath to flow easily. Keep grounding the tops of your feet into the mat as well. And do feel free to place a cushion or blanket under your knees as well if the floor feels a little bit hard under the knees. So a few more circles, taking your time. And again, you may like to pause the video and do more circles in each direction. That's fine. Come back to center. Take a nice breath in. And on your exhalation, step your right foot to the outside edge of your right hand. From here, we're going to circle the hips again. And you can make gentle fists with your hands if your wrists are tender, and also this gives you a little bit more space if this is a deep stretch for you. You may also like to rest your hands up on something like a book or a yoga block, which will help to release the wrists if you curl the fingers around the edge of the block, and the added height will reduce the intensity of the wrist stretch. So we're going to circle about 9 times in each direction with the right leg forward, but again you can do more circles in your own time, and this is such a great way to stretch muscles around the sacroiliac area where the spine meets the pelvis, the hamstrings, the hips and the buttocks. Make sure that your face and jaw are relaxed. Keep grounding into the top of the back foot, which is flat on the mat. So then when you're ready, changing directions with the circles, still allowing your breath to flow in a very easy way. You might find that your natural pattern of breath inhales forward, exhales backward, or it could be something different, and that's okay. Just be aware of the breath and feel as though you are breathing into the muscles that you feel stretching. Visualize tension melting away with every exhalation. Keep breathing, checking in with your body all the time, making adjustments to your wrists if they need it, keeping shoulders away from the ears. And then stepping back to hands and knees, taking a nice deep breath in, and exhale as you round your spine up towards the ceiling into round cat. Inhale into flat cat, and exhale, step your left foot forward to the outside edge of the left hand and begin circling again. You could imagine you have a point on the mat in between your front heel and back knee, and you are circling around that point. You choose the size of the circles, but again, the bigger you can make them, the more you can stretch into the muscles of the hips. So just listen to your body and see if you can find that stretch without straining. Face and jaw are relaxed. So really important to relax face and jaw, lips, teeth and tongue to help relax other muscles in your body. And this movement will also help to stretch your pelvic floor, bringing wonderful flexibility, suppleness and good blood supply to those muscles. So then when you're ready, changing directions with the circles and continuing to simply let your breath flow with this movement, grounding through the top of your back foot, releasing your shoulders down your back and away from your ears. Just flowing with your breath. All your awareness is with your breath and the sensations you feel. So then making this a last round and coming back to hands and knees, take a nice inhalation. And on your exhalation, round your spine into round cat. Inhale into flat cat and exhale round into round cat. Repeating one more time here. Release your neck, let your head hang down. Come back to your flat cat position and then bringing your right knee behind your right wrist and just a little bit out to the side. Sweeping your right foot across the midline of your body, sinking your hips down as low as is comfortable, and flexing your foot as much as you can, curling your toes into the mat. If you do feel pressure on your wrists, then do come up to fists. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. It's important that your hips remain level, so don't let one or the other drop. You can place a cushion underneath the raised buttock to help support it, and that's really, really nice to help you keep your pelvis level and even. You may like to stay here, breathing into the stretch in your right buttock, or you can lower yourself forward on the mat if your body will allow. And as you lower yourself forward, you may feel the buttock stretch intensify, and also more of a stretch across your sacroiliac area where your spine meets the pelvis. So this might be a stretch that you want to stay in for a little bit longer than I do here in this video, because it is such a wonderful way to release the tight muscles that can cause irritation of the sciatic nerve. So take your time and breathe deep. And then when you're ready, using your hands to slowly push yourself back upright, ground into your hands and come back to hands and knees. You might like to take a nice round through your spine into round cat, relaxing your neck. And then inhale back to flat cat. Bringing your left knee behind the left wrist a little bit out to the side and sweeping your left foot across the midline of your body. Sinking your hips down as low as is comfortable, and it is okay if the hips remain quite high, but just as long as they are level, that is the main important thing. The prop underneath the left buttock can be quite helpful, especially if your hips are high. You can use a thick book or a couple of yoga blocks, so helping to keep your pelvis nice and level. And so if you do want to go further, then lowering yourself forward, you might stay up on your elbows, you might even be able to lay completely flat onto the mat. Just see what your body is telling you and breathe into the stretch. You'll feel this deeply in the left buttock, the sacroiliac area. Keep that left foot nice and flexed so that left leg is active, and listen for your knee as well. If there's any discomfort in that left knee, then release this stretch. So we'll come on back to center now, grounding into your hands as you push back up onto your hands and knees. Take a nice breath in, and as you exhale, round your spine, push the floor away, coming into round cat. Inhale back into your flat cat position and repeat. Really getting that nice stretch for your whole back. Inhale, flat cat, and one more time, exhaling, rounding into round cat. Inhale into flat cat. So then coming to sitting, and you might like to face the long edge of your mat, bringing your legs out wide. Move the flesh of your buttocks out the way so you can feel your sit bones in contact with the mat or block. So you may well want to sit up on a cushion or a block, because it's really important to have your pelvis level here. We don't want to be rocking to the back edges of the sit bones, because that will cause your spine to round and it will cause tension around the area of the hips. You can bend your knees to help you center the pelvis. The pelvis needs to be like a bowl of water that's not spilling out the back. And the lower back is flat and lengthened, not rounding out towards the back of the body. Toes and knees point straight up towards the ceiling. From here, bring your left foot in. And if it's difficult to get your foot all the way in like this, you can have it a little bit in front of you and prop your knee with a block or a cushion. Then bring your hands to your hips and turn your inner hip bones so that they face towards your right leg. So it's a little shift of the hips. Move the flesh of your buttocks out the way, so you really have a sense of connection between your right sit bone and the floor or the block. Take a nice deep inhalation, and as you exhale, inquire into tipping forward to the front edges of your sit bones, so towards the right leg. The lower back stays really nice and flat, so you're not rounding in your lower spine. Your pelvis is really tipping forward. You can bend that right knee, and the right knee points straight up towards the ceiling, and so does the right toes. And on your next inhalation, reaching your left arm up. And imagine you have a line coming out the top of your right toes. Reach up and over towards that line. Feel a lovely stretch down the left side of your body, hopefully all the way into your left outer hip area. Keep breathing. Keep lengthening both side bodies. Keep grounding down into your left sit bone and left buttock. So we really want that opposition happening between the left sit bone and buttock grounding down and the left arm reaching up. But make sure you keep sliding your left shoulder down your back and away from your ear. Then bringing your left arm down, coming back to center, bringing your left leg out and right leg in, swapping over legs. Shift your hips towards your left leg and move the flesh of your buttocks out the way so you can feel your sit bone firmly in contact with the floor or the support underneath you. Bring your hands either side of your left leg. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale, inquire into tipping forward to the front edges of your sit bones. It's fine to have a little bend in your left knee, and that will actually give you more mobility to tip forward a little bit more. Keep your shoulders rolling back. And then on your next inhalation, reaching your right arm up and rolling your right shoulder back so that you're turning your chest and your tummy up towards the ceiling. Keep lengthening your spine and keep breathing evenly into both sides of your rib cage. So make sure you're not collapsing at all through the underneath side of your rib cage. Breathe evenly into the ribs, forwards, backwards and out to the sides. And remember to keep grounding down through the right sit bone, right buttock, and think of externally rotating your right thigh as well. So that really helps to get that stretch all the way into the outer right hip area. So then bringing your arm down and bring yourself back to the center. Bring the soles of your feet together quite a good distance in front of your body. And if you're on a wooden floor, just make sure you've got something to cushion your ankle bones here. So I'm just making sure mine are on the mat to keep it comfortable. Centered on the sit bones, lifted and lengthened up your spine. And you can inquire into hinging forward at the hips, and you could keep your heart lifted, or you can release your shoulders and round over completely. So this is our seated star pose, and we want to feel this stretch in the outer hip, sacroiliac area, maybe down the outer thighs if they're quite tight. If you feel this only in your inner thighs, then try to bring your feet further forward away from your body. And so then lengthening back up to sitting, and we're coming into our seated staff pose or seated dandasana. And so moving the flesh of your buttocks out the way, having your legs out in front of you, about inner hip distance apart. It may well be helpful to sit up on a block or cushion or support. Knees and toes point straight up towards the ceiling, and your pelvis is level like a bowl of water, not spilling. Make sure that you're not tipping backwards on your sit bones, and make sure your lower back is flat and not rounding. If you need to get your pelvis more neutral so you can lengthen your spine up better, then try bending your knees a bit more or sitting up on a higher support. If you want to, you can raise your arms up to really feel that wonderful long lengthened spine and active postural muscles. Then lowering your hands down, keeping that length in your spine. Inhaling, and as you exhale, inquire into tipping forward to the front edges of your sit bones. This is a very small movement, and it's really important that you keep your spine really long, not letting your shoulders round, and keeping your lower back nice and flat. So it's a real sense of the pelvis tipping forward, the back of the pelvis lifting, and the inner hip bones that stick out the front of the pelvis beginning to tip more down towards the earth. You might find it helpful to place your hands on your hips to feel the movement of the pelvis here. Stay active through your legs, curling your toes towards you and feeling as though you're sucking your kneecaps up towards your hip sockets. As you inquire into hinging forward at your hips, try bending your knees a little bit more, and this will give you more mobility to tip the pelvis forward. You can keep repeating this, little knee bend, little further tip forward, until you can get your belly to your thighs. And it's okay if your knees are bent up quite a lot to get the belly to the thighs. You can also place a cushion in between your belly and your thighs, which will allow your belly and therefore your back to be supported, which is important if you are going to round your shoulders in this pose. So inhale and lengthen back up to sitting. And then come into your mermaid position. Use the strength of your arms to lower yourself down onto the mat. Roll onto your back and hug your knees in, gently rocking side to side, feeling this lovely massage for the lower back. And you can keep your knees together and circle the knees, feeling this massaging the flesh all around the base of the spine at the sacrum. Just move intuitively, see what your body needs. Face and jaw relax. Let your right foot float down to the floor and take your left ankle to the top of the right thigh. Flex your left foot and roll your left knee away. You can take hold of your right thigh in your hands and draw it in towards you if you want to go a little bit further in this pose. And you can gently rock side to side to help ease into the stretches that you feel. If you do have any issues with your left knee, then do go easy with this pose. You might want to keep your right foot down on the floor. And if you want a little bit more, you can straighten your right leg up towards the ceiling, flexing your foot and pushing out through the heel. Keep breathing. Keep both feet flexed. Keep rolling your left knee out and away from the midline of your body in an external spiral of rotation, because this is what's going to really help to stretch into your outer hip and buttock area. And then bending your right knee again and lowering your right foot to the floor. Come back to center and give both knees a hug as you gently rock side to side. And keeping your knees together, circling your knees just a few times in each direction, feeling this massage the flesh all around the base of the spine, the sacroiliac area. Coming back to center Place your left foot down to the earth, taking your right foot to the top of the left thigh, flexing your right foot and rolling your right knee out and away. Keep that right foot nice and flexed. And if you want to go further, you can draw your left thigh in towards you, clasping your hands behind the left thigh, having a little rock side to side as you massage the lower back, sacroiliac area, and really work into that stretch. Keep breathing. Check in with your breath. And if you want a little bit more stretch, you can straighten up that left leg, flexing the foot and pushing the heel away. Don't worry if you can't get your left leg completely straight. Keep thinking of grounding the back of the left side of the pelvis into the earth as you push the left heel up towards the ceiling, feeling that lovely stretch all up the back of the left leg. And remember to keep rolling your right knee out and away, keeping the right foot flexed, which really helps to increase the stretch and also protect the knee by engaging the muscles all around the right knee. Remember, any discomfort in your right knee, then just let this go or bring the left foot to the floor to reduce the stretch. So we'll make that the last breath here and bring both knees in, rocking side to side, hugging the knees and just moving intuitively, maybe having a nice circle a few times in each direction with your knees. And then releasing your feet down to the floor, rolling over onto your side. Use the strength of your arms to make your way up to sitting. And just notice how you feel sitting in a comfortable position, bringing palms to touch in front of your heart. Be aware of the sensation of your palms touching, the warmth in between them. Be aware of your relaxed face and jaw. Bring your thumbs to your third eye point in the center of your forehead as you gently bow your head. Take a moment to feel gratitude to your body for allowing you this wonderful yoga practice today. And then bring your hands to your heart center, maybe gently pressing them into your sternum. And again, feel that gratitude to yourself and your body. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for the class today. Do repeat this sequence regularly to help to relieve and prevent further sciatica. And I'll see you soon. Bye.